Just because a woman call you asshole. See, number one, both of those terms are highly subjective. What the fuck is a jerk? I mean, seriously, if you go to the dictionary, it ain't going to say like something real specific like, well, a jerk is someone who shows up for late 3 times a week and misses 2 child support payments and hasn't had a job for 6 months. That's a random, subjective, similar to us calling a woman a bitch. Asshole. When you usually call them names, it's because, again, social programming. You're not adhering to the social programming that women want you to and expect you to. So quite naturally, anything that goes against their expectations, what they may be accustomed to, you are an asshole or a jerk. But a lot of guys still get the pussy when they're... Seduction is not about getting a woman to like you. No connection. Again, that's not to say you should ever specifically try to be an asshole. That's just as bad to me, if not worse, than being a nice guy. It's trying to be an asshole. Like my buddy David X. David X, I love this guy to death. Now, David X is just real. He's just as real as a motherfucker can be. Now, because he's his real self, you got those who love him to death. Love him to death. But he has his share of both men and women, I'm sure. I've heard a few men on my show. God just recently said, David, you can be such an asshole. Because David called the guy pussy. He's like, you're a pussy. But yeah, seduction is not about getting a woman to like you. And that's when guys get into the mode 2 zone. Talking about that a little bit later. Mode 2 is they put too much emphasis. Why are you afraid of rejection? That's the big thing. Man, I don't want to get rejected, man. I approach this 5 women. What's the guy had? Open up the sets. I don't use that talk in this day. I'm just like, I approach women. I don't know about all the sets and shit. But why are you afraid of rejection? Let me see. I'm going to do a little 2-minute exercise. Whoever you sit next to, and I know it's not going to work with the odd number seats, but try to find somebody, and I want you to take 2 minutes, and this is what I want you to do. Like you two, for example. I want you to tell them your name and say, can I borrow 100 pounds? And then I want you to basically be like, hell no. And then I want you to turn around and ask him like, hey, you know, can I use your car for the weekend? I want you to just be like, no. So everybody ask somebody next to them for a favor. Can they borrow money? Can they use their car? Can they wear their clothes? And the other person just say no. About 30 more seconds. Okay. Now, here was an interesting visual. All you guys were rejecting each other, but these two guys, what's your name? Yeah, what's your name?
My name's Lehman.
Yours? Jacob Lehman. They were shaking each other's hands while they were rejecting each other. I mean, they were just smiling like, hey, man, no, hell no, you can't use my card. No, man, you can't borrow money. They were just enjoying it. Now, just now, you just got rejected. Did anybody, like, is anybody going to go home and, like, commit suicide? Anybody going to go home, like, call their buddies, like, man, this dude sitting next to me, man. Fucking dude rejected me, man. Fucking pissed me off, man. Rejection has as much meaning as we give to it. And I know some guys sitting here like, okay, well, that's our own gender. It's different. Yeah, but mostly no. That's one of the things I tell guys about Mode 1. You would think the thing that addicted me to Mode 1 and got me starting to be Mode 1 was the times when I got women to, suck my dick 20 minutes after I met them or something. I like them successful, those, now see, I was going to make a misnomer. I was going to call those times the times my interests were reciprocated as the successful. And that's a mistake. That is a mistake. A lot of guys on message boards will say, well, what is your success rate? And I always ask them, what do you mean? Because, see, for me, this is what I consider success in Mode 1. If I see a woman standing there and I'm standing against a wall and I give in to my fears and I just don't approach them, that means I failed. If I go up to that woman confidently, I'm Alan Roger Curry, we need to hook up soon. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm married. I've been married for 3 years. Yeah, I got rejected, but that wasn't failure to me. I had the balls to walk up to that woman and tell her what my interest was. So just the fact that I took action, that's my success. That's my success. I'm not going to attach myself to a result that's in control of a woman. When a woman spreads her legs for me, that is her choice. I can help influence that, but I can't control it. Anybody familiar with a guy named Stephen Covey? Stephen Covey wrote a wonderful book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book. If you've never read it, I would say it's worth reading. But 2 of the things you learn in there is about the difference between goals and objectives, the difference between control, indirect control, no control, and the difference between control and influence. It is in my power to get down on the floor right now. I saw somebody doing push-ups earlier when Bad Boy was on stage.
Yeah, I liked it.
That was you?
Yeah.
Feel a little stronger there?
Yeah.
That right hand was a little stronger, wasn't it? I'm fucking with you. Hey, but some people jack off with the left hand. Yeah, if I get down and do 50 push-ups, that's in my control. That's direct. Now, if I say I would like you to do 50 push-ups, if you did it, you can say I influenced you. Same with a woman. You might have some degree of influence, but ultimately, that's her decision because that's out of my control. I don't worry about that shit. I don't attach myself to it. That's not to say I don't want my interests reciprocated. Of course I do. But I'm not going to, again, attach myself to that. But so many guys get hung up on this. What I'm going to tell you as I go on in the presentation is that in the long run, that's actually a good thing. I like abrupt rejection. I really do. What I don't like is when a woman wastes my motherfucking time. Oh, my goodness, I can't stand that. When a woman is giving me the impression she got some degree of interest, and I'm naive and foolish enough to take her out on 3 dates and talk to her on the phone for 15 hours, and then she says, Allie, we had such a great time the last 2 weeks. I mean, you took me to the finest restaurant in Chicago, and, you bought me that one gold bracelet, but I'm not really interested. I'm sorry, we don't have any chemistry. No, just tell me no from the get-go. But rejection is not an indictment of how unattractive you are or how undesirable you are. Rejection simply means that a woman is not the right romantic and/or sexual companion for you. Simple. If I go to a Chinese restaurant looking for pizza and they don't have it, that ain't got shit to do with me. He's looking for the mic. Who got the microphone? Who? Okay.
What do you do in the case of rejection? Myself, I've been angry with them in the past. Let's be friends, or rejected. I spent hours with them, hours on the phone.
You spent hours?
You detached yourself, but I've just clearly been angry with them.
Oh, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. You saying you invested some time.
I've invested time and been decent.
Yeah, see, I understand that. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. When you invest, he said, what if you're angry basically after you've invested time, talking to a woman on the phone and doing whatever. And that's part of what mode 1 is about, preventing and avoiding. You wasting that time. Because that's when, honestly, when I feel pissed. Whenever I've been mode 2 with women, and I've invested a lot of time either talking to them on the phone, taking them out on dates, and then it didn't lead to us either in a relationship or fucking casually, oh, man, I was pissed. I didn't let them know that, and most guys don't. They'll be polite when they're in a woman's face, like, oh, yeah, it was a great time. Hey, got to meet you anyway. You go home like, fuck. Some bullshit, man. Fuck, man, I was on the phone with her every day for fucking 3 weeks. Yeah. Didn't get a hand job, nothing. That's some bullshit. And see, then we deflect. We don't tell you, but we're like, she's a bitch, man. She's a bitch. And see, then you start slowly going into the mode 4 zone. I'll get on that a little later. You just start saying, man, all women are fucking bitches.
But what I've done is I've told them that, and I call it giving them a round of fucks.
You said what now?
I call it giving them a round of fucks. I've just told them that. I've told them off verbally.
You hold them off
That's what I've done when you said she's a bitch. I've told them directly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you told them that directly?
Trying to get the last word in.
Oh, yeah, see, that's what a mode 4 guy does.
Yeah, I call it
a
giving them a round of
mode 4 guy tells a woman in the face, you a bitch. Fucking, I took you out on 5 dates, and I spent like 300 pounds on you, and you a bitch. That's
my confidence, what I do, yeah. I've stopped it a bit recently, but...
Yeah. You said just recently, like Friday, huh?
I'm fuming.
Hey, every guy in here can relate to that.
Alan, do you ever slip into mode 2 because of, well, you're sort of...
No,
I mean, because I don't know, I get quite scared of how a girl looks, that she's really beautiful, and then I slip into mode 2, hopefully not mode 3, but to maintain mode 1, you really need character, and I'm wondering if you ever do slip into mode 2.
Trust me, being the author of mode 1 and the 4 modes of verbal communication, I can tell you in over 20 years of being mode 1, that it wasn't like it was just one day where I stepped over to the mode 1 zone. I said, hey, I'm here. Yeah. You know.
But now
I challenged. What always brought me back is that every time I began to doubt mode 1, the effectiveness of mode 1, which happened quite a bit. See, this is when it would happen with me. I'll tell you exactly when it would happen with me. Is I would meet certain women, and you know us men, we kind of like to evaluate. The most common thing is the 1 to 10 thing. You know, this woman's a 10. Or we're thinking this woman is classier because she's more educated. And honestly, I would give into that. Like, if I was dealing with what I call the skanky women, I never regretted being mode 1. But then when I dealt with the higher caliber, I would sometimes say, well, with this one, I think I'm going to need to be mode 2. Only to find out, in the short run, it would always work. Maybe for the first few days, for the first couple of weeks, I'd be like, yeah, maybe mode 2 is better. Sure enough, long run, man, I'd be in the bathroom like, why did you do that? Because, man, women, once they see they can manipulate you and get you to adhere to the social program they want you to just, if you keep a score, just ding it for them. Ding, 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 ding. I don't care if it's woman, got her PhD. Women with PhDs suck dick too. Trust me on that. Women who come from well-to-do families suck dick too. I know that might be revolutionary thought to some guys in this room, but if you were like me, I made a mistake. Well, yeah, she's in a nightclub with all that makeup on and that short dress. Yeah, I know she's sucking dick, but not that woman with that plaid sweater and that conservative garb and those nice fashionable glasses. No, that woman is sucking dick twice as much as that woman. Do not argue with rejection or try to fight it. Just accept it and move on. One of the biggest complaints I get from women that I have to agree with is guys being rejected and they not giving up. To me, the only time you should be persistent is when you get resistance. But if you approach a woman and she says, looks you dead in your eye, is like, I'm not interested in you, leave her alone. Just leave her alone. You know, the most attempt at persistence you should do is maybe give her a card with your number in case she changes her mind. But I would not be like, oh, come on. Now, if you really get to know me, I can show you different sides of me. No. If she says, I'm not interested, uses those words, I'm not interested, leave her alone. Now, some guys assume things are lack of interest, but they're not. Like, if you approach a woman and, I don't know, she said, you are so cocky. I don't date guys like you. That's not, I'm not interested. I always listen for those words, I'm not interested. If I don't hear those words, I'm going to keep on talking. If she starts pointing out attributes like, you know, you're too straightforward and you're too sexually explicit, that still is not saying, I'm not interested. Until she looks me in my eye and says, I'm not interested, I'm talking. But if a woman says, I'm not interested in it, don't try to hit the microphone.
What if she says, I'd never be up for that, or, you know, I'm not interested, but still appears quite flirty? Do you just kind of like push on until, you know, it's really definitive that, yeah, she's definitely not interested?
Well,
or,
you use the word flirty. If a woman's being flirty, like, oh, I'm not interested.
You know, she's like still in your space. Like, she's not fucking walking away or nothing like that.
I would say play with it.
Just play it until, you know, it's definitive. She's definitely,
now, if her body, here's the deal. You're going to hear me use terms congruent and incongruent. Most people know what that means? Anybody not know what that means?
Say that again, please.
Congruent and incongruent. That's one of the number one things I look for when I'm talking to a woman. For a woman to be exhibiting congruent behavior means what she's saying is being supported by her demeanor, her body language. For example, if you're trying to fuck a woman and a woman says, no, stop, that's congruent. Incongruent would be, no, stop, no. Basically like, yeah, continue to try to fuck me, but her words are saying, no. See, a lot of women that do that, man, when it comes to sex, man, and I have a keen sense of incongruent. Matter of fact, that's sometimes I purposely like, you know, guys, that's what I'm talking about, my triple X-rated approaches. It provokes that. It allows me to see that. Because women, their incongruency will come out so much because they'll be like, you're an asshole. You're a jerk, but they'll be stepping towards me. You're a jerk. You're an asshole, putting their tongue in my mouth. I mean, incongruent behavior. But yeah, when a woman does firmly reject you, just leave it alone. Just like I asked, why are you afraid of rejection? Why are you afraid of subjective criticisms? What's the difference between an objective criticism and a subjective criticism?
Objective is direct, meaningful. It's fine.
Subjective is opinionated. Objective criticism would be, John, right? John, if I'm your boss and you sign an employee handbook and you mutually agree to show up for work on time every day, and I see that you come to work 15, 20 minutes late, at least twice a week, every week, and I criticize you for it, what would that be? That would be a subjective?
That's objective.
Yeah. That's an objective criticism. Objective criticism, in a nutshell, is when I criticize you for behavior that you yourself has agreed to adhere to, or you yourself has criticized. Like, if you criticize guys who smoke, you say, man, guys who smoke, I don't know why they fucking smoke. And then one day I catch you with a cigarette in your mouth and I criticize you for it. Objective criticism. You know, I'm basically saying, how you going to be doing that? Now, subjective criticism would be like, if I criticize you for wearing yellow shirts twice a week, did you ever tell me you wasn't going to wear yellow shirts? Then what the fuck am I criticizing you for? That's my opinion. Because I don't like yellow shirts, I'm going to criticize you? That's what a lot of people do, though, men and women. We offer these subjective criticisms. Well, I don't like that guy because he got a high-pitched voice. Like his voice is supposed to please you. The fuck? Man, you see that dude, that fucking ponytail? I don't like dudes with. What the fuck, so? It ain't his job to wear his hair the way you fucking like it. Women, man, that's one of their number one weapons. They feel, and this is from their own mouth, most women feel like they can break all of you all down with subjective criticisms, such as you're an asshole and you're a jerk. And they're going to watch to see how you respond. You're like, no, I'm not. Please don't call me that. They're like, he's a bitch. Seriously, they're like, he's a pussy. It's like a bully, you know, bullies do like that. Women in their own way do that when they criticize you, like, yeah, you asshole. Don't let me have another criticism. You pig. No, I'm not a pig. No, I always look at women, whenever they start criticizing me, like, what it look like, I don't give a fuck what you think of me. You still standing here. Trust me, I don't think there's a criticism that a woman can express to a man that I have not heard. Seriously, I almost want to think I've in the Guinness Book of World Records.
What if the most beautiful woman criticized you?
The most what?
Beautiful woman criticized you.
Oh, I've had a lot of beautiful women criticize me. I've had a lot of beautiful women criticize me. Matter of fact, yeah, quite a few beautiful women criticize me. I mean, I can't think of something that I ain't asshole, jerk, sex craze, no manners, no parental upbringing, degenerate, juvenile, delinquent. And you know what the funniest thing, and this is not even a joke. 95% of the women who gave me the harshest criticisms was the ones that my dick ended up in their mouth.
Criticism sounds like a good thing.
Oh, yeah, I tell guys that. I say when I do coaching in class and guys say, hey, man, I don't want women to think I'm an asshole. I'm like, no, yes, you do. What you don't want women to think is that you're a nice guy. That fucking scares me. Asshole don't scare me. When a woman says, oh, hell, you're so sweet, I'm like, oh, shit. Ow. What did I do wrong? I don't want to be called no woman's sweetheart, no nice guy. Because here's the thing, and I'll get to you 1 second. Don't confuse being a nice guy with a good guy. When you're being upfront and straightforward with your desires, interests, and intentions, trust me, you are a good guy. Because most guys are lying and bullshitting trying to get their way in the pants. But a lot of those guys who are lying and bullshitting are using pleasant language. Their demeanor, everything about them is pleasant. So they're branded a nice guy. Who has read my book, and specifically, anybody remember page 51 of my book? I know that was like a fucking college professor. Page 51, like, what the fuck? I don't remember the page number. No, on page 51, I specifically tell you what in Latin and what in Middle English, what nice is. Nice comes from the Latin word nesius, N-E-S-C-I-U-S, which means to be ignorant and foolish. So when a woman says, hey, you're such a nice guy, that's essentially in Latin saying, you are so ignorant and foolish. And it applies, because when you're a nice guy, you aren't being ignorant and foolish. You're foolishly thinking that you're going to pull women being a nice guy. That's foolish. It's ignorant. But that's what it means in Latin. In Middle English, the derivative word that leads to nice means strange and lazy. So when a woman calls you a nice guy, you're an ignorant, foolish, strange, lazy guy. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want a woman to call me a nice guy. But yeah, I've been called every criticism in the book. But yeah, the women who criticize me the harshly, and again, that's what made me, I'm going to go back to something I don't think I finished. I was saying how I first became addicted to mode 1 because of how I felt after getting rejected. I noticed when I was mode 2 and mode 3, I was like you. I was pissed. Every time I was mode 2 and mode 3 and things didn't work out, I would be pissed off. When I was mode 1, and to this day when I'm mode 1, I get rejected, don't mean nothing. The irony is that when you're mode 1, most of the time the woman is the one pissed. And guys will look at that as a bad thing. They'll be like, hey man, I was mode 1 and she walked away pissed. I'm like, and? To me, I consider that a victory, because you know why she pissed? She pissed because your mode 1 behavior basically said to her, I'm not going to play that game. I know you want me to adhere to these social programming that I'm supposed to, but I'm not going to do it. And they're like, fuck. all these guys I manipulated in the club last night, and you're not going to play the game? You know how much my pussy is worth? This is currency. You're not going to offer me a free dinner or nothing? No, I ain't going to offer you shit but my dick. You're kidding me. Fuck you, asshole. You mean you're not going to like offer to pay half my car note or something? No, I ain't going to pay shit. Fuck you, fucking ass jerk. Fuck. They start trying to think and they make up their own criticisms and shit. You fucking table chair, podium head, you fucker. Because they just pissed at you. Because, see, some of the people in their life told them. I had an argument with a woman in Los Angeles. And she basically admitted everybody in her life had told her that that's how we were going to do that. It was almost like this automatic guaranteed thing. That the guys were going to adhere to her social programming expectations. And so she acknowledged. She said, yes, Alan, I get pissed when a guy won't. So when I get rejected half the time, I have a smirk on my face. Because when you think about it, it doesn't make sense. As you guys do that rejection exercise, if you, John, I'm picking you again. Ask me for 40 pounds. Can you borrow 40 pounds?
I'd like 50, please.
50?
But I'm not going to give it back.
No, I'm not giving it to you.
That's not very nice of you.
No, pause right here. Now, you asked me for 50 pounds, and I just told you no.
You did.
In other words, I'm the one who got something you want,
Yep.
and I'm denying it. Shouldn't you be the one walking away pissed off or disappointed? Why should I be pissed? I'm the one holding the stuff with the value. Why should I be pissed? That don't even make sense. For me to tell you, no, you can't borrow 50 pounds, I walk away like, fuck, that's some bullshit. Fuck. He asked me for 50 pounds and I told him no, fuck. This is fucking, what's wrong, you fucking asshole, man? You're a jerk. You're a jerk. Think about it. Woman get her valuable pussy, you asking for some of it, she tells you no, but she's pissed. I had to think about that. It didn't hit me. That was one of my epiphany moments that helped me deal with rejection. I was like, okay, that don't make sense. She's denying me something I want, but yet she's pissed. And then as I start analyzing things, I realized it was because of what I told you. And then women I would talk to them, they started admitting it reluctantly. But it's because they pissed again. They're pissed because they can't manipulate you. They can't get you to act the way they want you to act. Most women, particularly the ones with egos, they want to get you to act the way they want you to act. That's where that whole nice comes from. That's what they're essentially saying. When they say, oh, you know, I met Ralph, and he's such a nice guy, the translation to that is, damn, I can get him to act just the way I want him to. Matter of fact, Ralph, bark like a dog. Woo, woo, woo. Jump high. See, he's so good. He's such a good puppy. Yes, he is. But see, then when you got the guy over here, you know, as they call him, the bad boy, she's like, okay, now you're going to take me out to dinner, right? He's like, suck my dick. She's like, oh, shit. My mom didn't tell me that guys would do that. They told me that I would get guys that just jump through hoops and do somersaults for me. Wait, I'm going to try one more time. So you're going to go to the opera with me? I said, suck my dick. Oh, fuck, what's wrong? He's not responding to the way I want him to respond. And here's the kicker. I was just telling some guys upstairs. You got some guys out here, and I'm going to go ahead and say guys without backbone, who are willing to act the way a woman wants them to act. There's a slang term in Chicago, we call that thirsty. Guys would say, black guys would say, oh man, look at him, he acting so thirsty. And what that means is, the guy's like, yeah, I act the way you want me. You want me to take you to dinner? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you want me to wash your car? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I just want to date you. I'll do anything you want to. And here's the thing. Women will try so hard to get you to act the way they want to act, and guess what happens when you do comply? They don't fucking want you no more because they don't respect you. And then, man, they're like, you're not a man. I can get you to do whatever the fuck I want to do, No woman's going to feel secure with you because she's going to feel like any other woman can get you to do what the fuck she wants you to do. So they're going to think to themselves, well, shit, I know I ain't the most attractive, sexy woman on earth. So if I can get this guy to jump through hoops and do somersaults, then that blonde over there with the big tits can do the same thing. And that brunette over there with the nice ass can do the same thing. That's how they're thinking. Worst thing you could do, it's quoted in my book. I start all my chapters with quotes. And this woman, there's a magazine called Essence Magazine. Woman flat out said it, and they had this piece. I want to say the piece was on manipulation. She said, when I first meet a man, the number one thing I'm going to try to do is see if I can control him, dominate him, and manipulate him. If I can, I will continue to toy with him and fuck with him until I'm bored. But if I can't and I'm attracted to him, I'll pursue him relentlessly until he is mine.